Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Your Health in Your Hands. I'm Dr. David Ajibade with the Brain and Body Foundation. Now, if you've heard any of our past presentations, we've talked about the laws of life, where we talk about the 7 areas that human beings are particularly involved in. The 7 areas that you can control, good or bad, but they are under your direct control. And we've talked about your words, we've talked about your thoughts, we've talked about your activity levels, your sleep, your relationships with others, your kind of work you do, all these and others all combine to affect your life for better or for worse. But one area that we talk about probably more than ever is the 4th law, which specifically says the quality of your life or the quality of your health is dependent on the quality of the foods that you put in your mouth, the foods and drinks, in general, what you put in your mouth and you swallow. That, in my opinion, is probably one of the most powerful influences on your body, not just on your body, but on your brain and on your emotions and your thoughts and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, people tend to overlook that law and therefore pay for it eventually. When they get to their 40s and 50s, they begin to see problems begin to arise. Well, it's because of all the carelessness that has happened in the past. So it's always important, and that's why I talk about nutrition and I talk about supplements so much, because this is probably the fastest way to address your health, whether it's losing weight, whether it's thoughts, process problems, whether it's energy levels. All of these are affected to some degree or the other by what you put in your mouth and how that is processed. So we are really, really, really privileged today to have on the show Dr. Alexander Indioway, who is a retired professor of nutrition and hospitality management, amongst other things. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you making it happen. I know these are busy times.
Yeah.
But tell us about you. Let's have a brief idea of who you are, what you do, and some of your interests going forward before we get into the whole topic about nutrition.
Okay. My name is Dr. Alexander Indioway. Well, from Nigeria, but resident in the United States. As he introduced me earlier, yes, was a professor, still a professor because I have a private practice here in the area of nutrition in general, animal nutrition as well as human nutrition, and also hospitality management.
So the thing about people like you is that you grew up in Nigeria, and you worked in Nigeria for a while before coming to the States. So you have the privilege of perspective. You've seen both worlds. You go back and forth a lot. You have kids who have basically seen both worlds. So you have that rare thing, what we call perspective, and therefore you can speak to us from an understanding when it comes to nutrition that's probably not everybody would have. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk in general about nutrition. Why is it so important to health as a whole, and then we can go through the process from pregnancy, what kind of nutrition is needed, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and all those. Just let's talk about some of these general principles.
Well, this is an area I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable in as well, because in my teaching days, we train people to be dietitians. Dietitians are experts in the area of food and nutrition. Mm-hmm. When you're looking at the foods, you have to know what is in food outside the body and what they do when they are inside the body. Mm-hmm. So that's what any dietitian is. Compared to somebody who's a nutritionist, you know about food and what they do. So based on the fact that my background, we look at nutrition, overview of nutrition and health as it relates to health. So we have to...
Sorry, Doc, tell me, what's the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist?
A dietitian we refer to as expert in the area of nutrition. That means you know about food, how to prepare food, what is in food outside the body.
Okay.
And when you take it into the body, what it's doing inside the body. That is the area of a dietitian. Whereas a nutritionist is somebody who learn about nutrition, what is in food. Okay, but they may not know. In the area of nutrition, we have community nutrition, clinical nutrition, and you have basic nutrition, metabolic nutrition. So, like somebody who deal with a patient in the hospital, a dietitian, that's a dietitian. But somebody who is outside, maybe working in the lab, doing research in food or other, maybe animal as well. Those are nutritionists. So my background is along those areas, both of them.
Okay, fantastic. So it makes you even more in a greater position to educate us. Okay, great. So
what we're looking at here, this is the intro, what we call introduction. So my first time probably be in your program. And what I would like to look at is just have overview of nutrition and health. Okay. Right. As you said, I grew up in Nigeria up to high school level, just work a little bit before I moved to the United States around 1978. So I've been here back and forth, and was back with United Nations as a consultant to United Nations 3 times to Nigeria, back and forth, for my private practice.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break now, and then we will be right back. And then we're going to get into, hopefully we'll start talking about specifics when we get back. So folks, do not go away. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back, folks. All right. I love this quote. It says this. It says, it's not what you eat that's killing you, it's what you don't eat. And I think that was actually by a vet doctor, but I think it applies. I believe it applies to humans as well. Many times we're told, oh, don't eat junk food, don't eat this, to remove salt from your diet and all those things. And that's important. But you can't really have a healthy life or a successful life just by avoiding the things that you're not supposed to do. You get healthy, you get strong, and you have a successful life by doing the things that you're supposed to do. And those things, the knowledge of those things are not usually apparent because there's a lot of junk out there on the internet, on the TV, on news and everything. They're telling you all kinds of different things. So it's really always a good thing to be able to have specifics to have people know exactly what to do in certain situations, especially where food is concerned. And that's why I'm happy to have Dr. Indioway on the show today. So, Doc, let's talk about this. Let's talk about life. You mentioned life cycle nutrition. You want us to start with pregnancy?
Well, yes, we started with that. And because we are looking at life cycle, when you are looking at this food, we're also looking at geographical location. Where are you located? Okay. Especially in Nigeria, for instance, people in the north may use the same ingredients, but do it different way compared to the south, east, west. But we use the same. We have everything, and they are coming from the earth. So food preference or food choices is very important when we're talking about nutrition. For instance, we talk about preference. We talk about where you are, indigenous food or something like that. Habit. Most people are always in a hurry and all they do, they just grab whatever comes to. People may be because of their position or lack of fun, whatever what we call junk food, it may not be junk at a point if you really regularize it or you eat it the way it's supposed to. Moderation is very important. Then
all right, so let's get into the specifics. We need to have the specifics.
The specific is that you have to understand all these issues that's at play, because your habit, your association, your ethnic heritage, your values, social interaction. There are a lot of things that your emotional state can influence what you eat and how you eat. Then what is available to you is very important. Convenience of that, your age, your weight, even your body weight and your image, your medical condition, the health and nutrition that you are at the level you are in, very important. So if we establish that, that will help us now to go further and be specific. Specific means what? You're talking of how do you get your nutrient into your body? Mm-hmm. That's it. Okay. We talk about fruits, we talk about vegetable, we talk about source of carbohydrate. Well, all those six we talked about, those are the six criteria you are going to use all through your life to determine what you eat, and plus all the conditions I just mentioned.
So should a pregnant woman, for instance, I really want us to hone in on this now. A pregnant woman, she's getting pregnant, she's her first child. She has no clue what she should avoid and no clue what she should eat. Mm-hmm. How would she benefit from this? What would we say she needs to focus a lot more on, for instance? I mean, obviously, you can't say everything, but what are the things a pregnant woman should make sure she takes on a regular basis, specifically?
Well, the most important nutrient will be folic acid, which is what you get from the vegetable. Most cases, you go to your doctor may have a dietitian as part of their practice.
So not in Nigeria. Not in Nigeria.
Well, I said most cases, so it may not be available there. But in most cases, you have somebody who will share with you the type of food you will eat. For example, vegetable is very hard. You know, vegetable could be different from one area to the other. You know, there are some, when you go to some other area of nutrition, how you use what we call home remedy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You have people advising you type of leafy vegetable you can eat. You know, sometimes you go by color. You know, for instance, if you are in need of vitamin A, which is also very important, all those antioxidant sources, then you can eat. We have carrots there. We have other pumpkins, things like that, where you can get this nutrient. But in most cases, somebody who may be pregnant, then you focus on eating a lot of leafy vegetables, which will be someplace, especially for this, my area, Edo State, we have bitter leaves, for instance, which is not widely used all over. But that would be very good, you know, for other reasons. Even when we are talking of something like diabetes, stuff like that. People sometimes, when they are pregnant, they also may be suffering from, you know, that type 1, type 2 diabetes. Things like that they can include as part of their food.
What is about the cooking? Is there a place for the raw vegetables as opposed to the cooked vegetables? And you know, our people would like to overcook our stuff.
With raw vegetable, what I normally you wash it very well and cook it and make sure you don't throw away the water. Eat it with the water, because most vegetables, when you cook them, the way we cook them, we throw away the water. But most of the nutrient will be inside the water. You just throw the better part of it away. Mm-hmm. So normally when you want to do it, and the way we cook our soup there, which is very good, you know, you cut them fresh and put it as part of the soup, like goosey soup or stuff like that. So everything is in there. So when you are cooking if you steam it better, even if you steam it better, so that most of the nutrients they are still intact. So that is part of the way we look at it. Then even fruits, the same thing. You can make a salad out of them, or when you cook them, don't throw away the water. Make sure you cook in a way that you steam it. If you have to cook it, make sure you incorporate the water with whatever you're going to do with it.
Okay.
That's very acceptable for the reason I gave, that most of the nutrients in the water, you dump it if you don't make it a part of the final product.
Speaking about vegetables, I really sweet potato I found out has some really great qualities. What do you think about that?
Sweet potato is very, very, is good. You know, there are a lot of when we talk of, say, high blood pressure or stuff like that, people may say it's too sweet, but it has a nutrient in it that will help, to.
Such as, what kind of nutrients help in sweet potatoes?
It's starchy, it has starch, but also have other nutrients in it that will help make the vein or something like that. What causes high blood pressure, for instance, is when the vein is kind of hardened. It cannot spread enough so you have more blood fluid or something like that, the serum in the fluid and all that, then it cannot open enough to force the flow, through. Okay. So there's resistance. And that's why, if we're really talking of, say, for instance, high blood pressure, we have what we call hepatic portal vein, which is the vein that conducts nutrient from GI tract, which is when you digest it, then go through there to go to the liver. The liver will work on before it enters the blood circulation. If that place is hardened and things are not moving the way, then we have a hepatic portal vein, high blood pressure, and stuff like that, all along the body. Right. Wherever there's that resistance, that's what we cause it. So
sweet potatoes can help in that.
Can help. But again, remember, with our moderation, everything you do in moderation, combine it with something else.
So let's talk about eggs, for instance. Are eggs good for pregnant women to be taken?
Yes. Why? Okay, we're talking, for instance, the yellow egg, you have iron there. Okay, the white also high in protein. Where a baby growing in the womb, they need protein to grow.
Yes.
So if you take egg, again, the blood is also responsible for conveying the nutrient from the mother to the baby.
Yes.
Through the placenta, but their blood don't mix. So when that is happening, you have the mother now supplying the iron to the baby in the womb, so that the baby now have enough iron. Iron is very important as part of hemoglobin that helps in conveying all these nutrients all over the body, things like that.
I'm bringing up egg because in some traditions and some cultures, they say if you give a child egg at a young age, or give the mother egg at a young age, what happens? That the child learns how to. I don't know what they say in your own part of the world, but I've heard some crazy things like the child wants to steal, or what did they say in your part?
I'm laughing because when I was growing up, I remember these guinea fowl eggs.
Okay.
They bring them to the south, and normally I will have some money. You don't want your parents to know, so you go buy, and they think when you eat that, you become a thief. So I remember how many coins I had on my head. So so that just brought it to my mind. No, even some said gizzard, chicken gizzard. If that guys give you propensity of becoming a thief or something like that, because your egg is very good. If we really look at it, in the life cycle, where do you really need the egg the most? Where is growth? Exponential growth is required the most. Is it not big when you are young and all that?
Yes.
But what people think they are the one who should be eating the egg, and leave those who really need to be eating the egg. So I remember my mom, her blessed memory. I traveled to Nigeria one time, and she told me that her daughter asked her not to be eating egg. I said, why? He said, no, egg is not good for you. I said, man, egg is every protein. When we are concerning protein, we are comparing to the amount of protein in one egg.
Right.
That's why when you are doing research, that's what you compare protein level to. So
wow.
Egg is very important for a pregnant woman.
Wow.
Or even for children.
So in fact, I know they've gone around in circles with terms with regards to eggs. They've said eggs are bad, or the yolks, even in the Western world here as well. They've said I think they've come full circle. But I'm going to give you a personal experience at our clinic. One of the mothers So we deal a lot with children with brain disorders, all kinds of brain disorders. And the mother of one of the children who had a really bad case, she said that for some reason her daughter is always eating or wanting more of eggs. And they wanted to stop her from taking it. This is like a 4-year-old girl, and they wanted to stop her. I was like, no. I was like, stop, do not stop her, because that child is like, that child's body knows what is good for her, and therefore is pushing her to eat more of that egg whenever they give it to her. So I said, please give her as many eggs as she can take, because that helps in the development of the brain. It's not just about protein, but also about fats, the right kind of fats, and the right kind of carbohydrates. Does it have carbohydrates in it? Do eggs have carbohydrates?
Well, protein, the white side is protein, while the yellow side have iron and fat in it. Yeah. But what we are concerned about, in egg, is not even children. It's anybody that have high cholesterol, because there's high cholesterol in the yellow part. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, if that is the concern, so you have 2 egg white, remove the yellow and 2 eggs. You can use that because you still need it.
Right.
Not somebody with high cholesterol. But we need cholesterol.
Yes.
When we're talking of making all those hormones in the body.
Right, right.
So if you don't have problem with cholesterol, why should you be concerned about egg? The only thing, you don't want to do it too much. Mm-hmm. At least, in a week, you can maybe 3 times a week, make egg, whatever, if you want to control it, if you have problem with it. But if you don't have problem with cholesterol, what's the problem?
Yeah, I think eggs can be, people are now saying eggs are one of the most important.
That is food, and when we talk of protein, because your body make muscle, stuff like that, you have to have the right amino acid, about 20 of them. In one egg, all of them is there. But you can also do it to, you have legume and cereal. So somebody eating rice and beans, you have complete protein there. You can get it 20. So if you are a vegetarian or somebody who is concerned about that, or like somebody will say that, if you have high cholesterol, so what you do is just, as I said, remove the yellow, use 2 egg white, and then you're okay. Or you can eat rice and beans, because amino acid that is in rice is not in beans. One is missing in rice, it's not in beans. The one that is in beans, one is missing, that is missing that is in rice, but it's not in beans. So when you combine both of them, then you have complete protein food. Mm-hmm. Wow. So the way we eat, that is, some of the things, because I always tell people, whether here or anywhere in the world, it's lack of knowledge. It's just, we have the same food. You can call it, and what we have there in Nigeria, we have here, most of the things they have here, they have to import it from tropical region. Yes. I think the pendulum is swinging back. Okay. When I was in Nigeria, my own backyard, we had avocado tree.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we weren't buying it. What are we planting now? And that grew with me. When I see houses now, I know, granted that we fence our houses, the corner of the house, you can plant orange tree, avocado tree, and all these things. Even pear we have now. Pear, okay. What we call pear, the dark one, where in my language called ohun, that you can have a very high quality value, high quality protein, nutrient that you can use. There are things we have there, but we neglected them, just like we did with our economy, focusing on oil and leaving the other part.
That's true.
We need to go back. We have everything. That's why I always tell people, I say, in Nigeria, we are like an ocean. There's water everywhere, but not to drink. Right? Because right now, even in the ocean, there are technology you can use to refine the water and make it a drinking water. We have everything in Nigeria, I tell you. But the way our focus is what is hurting us now. And I'm glad we are beginning to realize it and go back. Sometimes you don't want to go back, but in our case, we need to go back. because we cannot really blame God that He hasn't given us what we need. We have it.
That's true. Well, we've run out of time now, Doc. But
thank you, my brother. It's a good place to end.
the lesson, we don't want to lose our lesson. The lesson is that we need to start going back to start growing our own food, especially the vegetables, which can easily be grown. You have a little space in your backyards, and most middle class people, and even in the villages, in the remote areas, even have more space to grow some of these things for the health of your family. So let's take that to heart, folks. God bless, folks, and of course you can watch these programs later on, and on our website, and of course on the NTA website. Our website is brainandbodyfoundation.org. Till then, stay safe and see you next week. God bless. Bye.